Coby White and Josh Giddey combined for 48 points in a game where we should be celebrating the Chicago Bulls backcourt finding its way. Unfortunately, Josh Giddey goes down at the end of this game when he probably should have been out with the Bulls having a 20-point lead. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Hayes, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And in a game where we should honestly be talking about Josh Giddey and Coby White, because this was the game where it was just those two guys doing the heavy lifting. That's what it was. In this game, this was the Josh Giddey and Coby White show. That's what this game was. That was the story this game deserves to be. Coby White and Josh Giddey put on an absolute show, and they figured out how to balance themselves together. And we've been talking about the concept of Josh Giddey and Coby White figuring it out has become more and more of a story here recently. But unfortunately, Josh Giddey goes down with a nasty-looking ankle injury at this point when he comes down after a layup attempt on stepping on one of the Pacers' one of the Pacers' feet, and ends up twisting the ankle. And Josh Giddey, you saw the frustration with him going into the back. He actually, hit something when it came down to it. And hopefully Josh Giddey's okay. And hopefully at the end of that, they go down, they do some MRIs. And eventually nothing's found and he's going to be okay. But with the place that the Bulls are in this season, they have now 17 games left on this season. I would not be surprised by any, and I don't want to scare anybody, but I don't think anybody should be surprised if the Chicago Bulls end up shutting Josh Giddey down for the rest of the season. I'm just saying, it's the same ankle that had him out during the season. It was the same ankle that he hurt earlier in this year as well, right? So because of that, I will not be surprised with 17 games left, the Bulls hit Josh Giddey for a considerable amount of time, right? I will not be surprised on that. But I will say this, the way that Josh Giddey finished this season, hats off to Giddey. Hopefully I'm just worrying and it ends up being nothing. Maybe Josh Giddey goes back, nothing's wrong. He ends up taping it up and he's fine, right? Hopefully that maybe he misses a couple of games rather than some extended period of time. Let's hope that's the case. But with how nasty that looked and the frustration, and when you're a player and you play, and you've injured something before and you re-injure that thing, you kind of know in the back of your head how serious it is. Like, for example, LeBron James, who suffered a serious groin injury before, he suffered this one. He's like, hey, this isn't as bad as the last one, right? Like, he knew that, right? And we haven't heard from Josh Giddey yet. Maybe he'll say that too. But it just looked nasty. And hopefully Josh Giddey doesn't have to sit and miss any extended amount of time. We'll see what happens there, right? But moving on from that, Coby White, Josh Giddey today were +6 when they were on the court. We had a net rating of 18.6 when they were on the court as well together. 126 offensive rating with Coby White and Josh Giddey on the court together, and a defensive rating of 107. That's really, really good. A pace of 99. That's just kind of the story that the way the game went. 60% assist percentage when Coby White and Josh Giddey were on the floor as well. That's something you definitely need to look at. But overall, there were some really good minutes there with Josh Giddey and Coby White today that I felt were just really excellent, right? Josh Giddey in this game, 29 points in 28 minutes. He goes 11 of 18 from the field, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block in this game, 3 turnovers. But, the Bulls had 18 turnovers overall in this game. They needed to tighten that one up. Coby White with 29 points in this game as well. He goes 11 of 20 from the field with 7 rebounds, 4 assists in this game. He had 3 turnovers also. They were the only 2 Bulls to score in the 20s. We had 2 other Bulls to get in double-double in the double-digit range. Kevin Huerter with 13 points. He has another solid production night. 5 for 15 overall from the field, 3 of 10 from 3-point range. And then Nikola Vucevic in Vucevic's return to the team, 24 minutes, 5 of 8 from the field, 11 rebounds, 11 assists in this game for Nikola Vucevic in this game. The key thing to watch with Vuce, when Vuce was off the floor tonight, right? We're all watching the return of Nikola Vucevic. With Vuce off the floor, the Bulls had a net rating of plus 20 and a plus minus of positive 12. We also had an offensive pace of 103. When you factor in Nikola Vucevic back on the court, the Bulls still had still positive net rating of 13, positive plus minus of plus 6, but the pace, went down some. So that's just, looking at stuff with Nikola Vucevic today. But overall, Vuce and coming off the bench, played a solid game today, getting that double-double. You need to see that from Vuce. So, that's how Vuce impacts the game of basketball overall. So you like seeing that from him. But the Bulls in this game overall, several big runs in this game. The Bulls had a 16-4 run in this game in the first quarter that lasted from the 6-minute mark to about 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. That's where they created their initial separation. And then the Pacers came back 8-2 to finish the first quarter. The Bulls came out the gate in the second quarter on a 5-0 run, and then a 12-0 separate 5-0 and 12-0 runs towards the beginning of the second quarter. They finished the second quarter with a 13-3 run in that one. And that's where you just understood, hey, this is going to be the Bulls' night. Now, the Indiana Pacers were without some players tonight. It is what it is there. But the Bulls just played a very consistent game. And like I said, led in large part by the play of Coby White and Josh Giddey. When you talk about that 13-3 run that finished the second half, Coby White had 6 points. He was 2 of 2 from the field in that one. Josh Giddey had 3. Vooch had 2. Trey Jones had 2. But otherwise, it was all Bulls in that one. And so then it was another run in the third quarter of this game that really separated it yet again, a 20-8 run by the Chicago Bulls in the third quarter of this game. Surprisingly enough, Josh Giddey with 8 points, Julian Phillips with 7 points over the course of that run to help create that separation. And then, of course, in the fourth quarter, the Bulls go on that 10-3 run, led primarily by Coby White in that one, but the Bulls played pretty damn good. So, that's how you like to see it finish. Overall, the Bulls played a pretty damn good game, man. Pretty damn good game. Love to see the way that the Bulls played today, man. And overall, it just comes down to this for the Bulls, man. The Bulls, it's just, you see so much from this team, man. You see so much from this team. And I keep saying 48 is 58 points. I'm tired, make no mistake about it. I've been working my ass off all day today. They combined for 58 points. 48, Jesus Christ. That's that Shea math, man. Don't judge me, judge your mama. Judge your one titty auntie. They combined for 58 points in this game. But this is just, again, this is like the Bulls thing, right? Like, and I don't want to focus a game that was overall a really good game. I don't want to focus it just on how the game ended with a Josh Giddey injury, right? But it just goes to show, like, that's just Bulls karma, man. Like, Josh Giddey has been playing so good over the stretch, proving so many people wrong, right? And for it to turn this way, man, it's just really unfortunate, man. I can't take my mind off the fact that Giddey went down with an injury in this game. It's like the prevailing thought that came in this game because it's just really unfortunate. The Bulls also won this game by points in the paint, right? That's one thing that's really kind of shifted now with the Chicago Bulls. They're still shooting they're still keeping up with the league pace of threes, right? 33 3-pointers today. They went 12 of 33, but they're attacking the rim a lot more. And that's coming because of the pace that they're pushing, because of Josh Giddey and Coby White pushing the pace as point guards. 68, we won that point in the paint battle, 68-48. That was a really good one. 13 second chance points for the Bulls today in this one as well. And you look at the way that the Bulls out-rebounded the Indiana Pacers today. 56-39 on the boards today, which is really hard to overcome for any team. And so the Bulls really owning that glass and that production as well. That's a really good thing for the Bulls. They got to keep that up. The Bulls shot with 58 true shooting percentage today, which is really good as well, man. So, you love the way that this team was performing today. Giddey made it worse than it is when he slammed his fist on the way out. He will miss 5 games tops. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens there. Senseless Realm says it's time for Coby to rise again if Giddy's out. Yeah, Kobe's gonna have to put the team on the shoulders. And like I said, I don't want to. I'm not trying to diagnose. I'm not a doctor, right? I can't say how long Josh Giddey's going to be out. For all we know, Josh Giddey could be perfectly fine in a week, right? But it felt like Josh Giddey was not really not feeling that one, right? And like I said, I always trust the player's reaction, especially when it's a re-aggravation of a previous injury. But we'll see. So we're not going to talk about the last 2 assists that wasn't given to him. I listen, I didn't even notice that, but it is what it is with Josh Giddey. We know how it impacts the game. Yeah, Hayes, Coby and Giddey combined for 58. I'm sure it was. Yeah, it was definitely a typo. Like that's on me. That's on me. Zach Collins is actually athletic and a rim protector. Vooch is the worst defensive center in the NBA. I don't know. Vooch isn't the worst defensive center in the NBA. That would go to Christian Wood, my boy. But yeah, Zach Collins is a good athletic player, and we see how Zach Collins impacts the game of basketball. We see it. Hello, Giddy. I was wrong about you after that Caruso trade. You made me a believer. You're worth $30 million and play well together with Coby. I mean, listen, the him and Coby balancing it out is still a work in progress, right? I won't even say that they figured it out 100%, but recently there's been way more signs that they will figure it out than not, right? And that's the thing. Josh Giddey will rest for the playoffs. The Bulls aren't making the playoffs, bro. Come on now. Let's get that together. Hope Josh can only miss the Nets game. He can be ready on the Rockets game. I'll tell y'all what, because it's a re-aggravation, like the Bulls are going to probably sit him more than just one game, right? I just looking at how the Bulls have done things, he's probably going to sit for more than one game. He's going to sit for more than one game for sure. The team has come together. I think Vucevic and Williams should come off the bench. Listen, Vooch, you're not going to keep Vooch out the starting lineup. Like they may, as long as he's on a minutes restriction. Patrick Williams was Patrick Williams is all I can say in that. Like, man, I have no idea what to say about Patrick Williams makes it hard to say anything even minusculely positive about him. You can't say anything positive about P. Will, bro. Like it is what it is. Bro, what the fuck did we just watch? Who is this team? Listen, identity, right? I've talked about it before. When a team has an identity, when it has that default level of play that it can go back to, that default style, whatever you want to call it, it's easier to get wins. Right now, let's be clear here. The Indiana Pacers were without what many people think is the engine of that team, especially the offense in Tyrese Halliburton. But now that the Bulls, man, I mean the pro tankers are in a spiral right now, my boy. Like I made fun of them when it was two wins in a row. Now the Bulls, like, go check on your tanking friends is all I can say. The Bulls won 3 in a row. The pro tankers are having a hard go right now. They're having a rough time right now, my boy. Are you okay with the Bulls winning because of the young guys, even though it will cost them a high draft pick? It's not going to cost them a high draft pick. They're still going to have a top 10 pick. This Bulls team isn't making it out the play-in, right? So the Bulls are still going to have a top 10 pick. And I think that this is the right way to go about it, right? You're seeing your young players grow and develop. So we'll see. My thing is, Hayes, how is Patrick Williams going to be when he comes back off injury? AK said that they want to put him back in the Well, listen, P. Will's going to have to play well. Like, I get that they have a plan to get him back in the that's not, and that's what he said, is they have a plan. Now that they want to get him back in the starting lineup. But I tell you what, P. Will keeps playing like absolute ass cheeks. I don't know if they're going to have to throw that plan up out the window. The Giddey injury reinforces my desire to bring Tre Jones back. Having a true point guard behind Giddey and Lonzo is such a valuable depth. Yeah, but here's the thing. You can only have so much depth where you just got to deal with it, right? You can't continue to have 19 guards on your roster. Like, how much more depth do you need? You got Giddey, you got Lonzo, you got Coby, you got Io, right? All those guys can play point guard. All of them can play point guard. Now, make no mistake about it, I love Tre Jones on this team. Tre Jones' minutes on this team I absolutely love, right? I want to make no mistake about that. But you can't hold on to players for depth of injuries that may or may not never come. They're going to have to make Giddy sit out. Other than that, I like the team effort. P will on that passive-ish. Passive P, yeah, man. Giddy will be out for at least a week or exactly. Like I can't see Giddy being out anything less than a week. That was a pretty nasty sprain, but we'll see. We'll see. Giddy is a great person to keep pay, so I hope we draft a big. It's starting to look like we might have a little something to build, a little something with. Facts. Absolutely. P. Will is rough. His injuries effed him up. Now he's back, but the vibes are good. I can't see him being a huge positive when you see what others on the team are doing. I mean, the thing is, like before P. Will went down, it did look like there were some flashes of energy and focus from P. Will. Like I won't act like those flashes weren't there. They were absolutely there, right? The problem is that it's always flashes with P. Will. Like it's never like even this consistent run that Josh Giddey's been on, right? Coby White, I think this is now Coby White's sixth straight game of scoring over 20 points. Like you never get that level of you, like you don't get a hot month from Patrick Williams, right? The closest thing you got to that was December of 2023 or 2024, right? No, 2023 would have been 2023 going into the 2024 year, right? And it just you just don't see it from P. Will consistently, man. Hopefully Giddy is good. Same ankle that was bothering him during the Olympic and start of the season. Yeah, that's what makes it really scary. Is that it's the same ankle. Um, he will play like that drunk uncle at the cookout. No, that drunk uncle at the cookout is hacking. He'll at least be fouling. He'll stick somebody on defense. P. Will ain't even doing that. Supernatural, good win. So Hallie wasn't there. I'm a pro tanker, but shit, keep winning. Gaining some confidence is very key down the line. Go get Pat Will a flourish job. Listen, I don't know what's gonna happen with P. Will, bro. Send Gids home for a couple of weeks. Need some time at the bench, few beers and a tan, then back to it. Nah, it's gonna be more than that probably. I and Kobe are not true point guards like Trey Jones. Yeah, but how many teams need true point guards anymore? Like I get what you're saying. Like I'm not again. This isn't a shit on Trey Jones at all. But like, let's not act like teams need true point guards. Like you already have one in Zoe, and playing all those guys are hard. And you still got to construct or I'll keep this in mind. Even if you take the guard aspect out of it, you still got 2 draft picks that you're gonna have to find roster spots for coming in this year, right? And so what are you going to do? Not draft one of your players and trade it just so you can keep a fifth guard, a fifth point guard in true or not, a fifth point guard in Trey Jones? Like I said, unless a move comes, which a move very well could come. Maybe you move Javon Carter and Vooch in a trade, right? Maybe you do something like that. But unless a move like that comes, it's going to be very difficult to keep Trey Jones around. The team ain't that good. They are just playing street ball because there's no pressure to win. This is not street ball. And I'm sorry, you're an idiot if you think this is street ball. If you watch this team play and you think this is street ball, I got to doubt how much street ball you've actually watched. You're trying to use a comparison that's not apt and is stupid. No, this team isn't just playing street. Like this team is actually playing as a team. They're actually playing with the style. That's not just street ball. That's stupid. And then, like, even people who use that analogy, keep this in mind. You don't have a player like Zach LaVine. Vooch has been gone. What does that mean? Teams' defenses are actually focusing on Josh Giddey and Coby White, right? Like, people who try to find a way, I get it. You can easily say that this level of scoring isn't going to keep up for either of them, and that's perfectly fine. You don't want it to if you get a better roster. But that is just try to pass it on. Like, who said they're that good? They've won 6 games now in almost 6 weeks. But it's street ball. That's fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Like I hate to say it, but we're all you've affect all of our brain development by saying something so fucking stupid. Just to be 100% frank with you. Agreed with him being damn good December 2023, and then he gets injured. To be fair, it was a freak ass bone edema, but still, I want him to be good, but it's looking bad. That's a fact, right? That's just a fact. Lonzo stays hurt. Kobe's inconsistent and Catfish is trash. You say take the best player available, even if they had a guard in the draft, but you can't get a starting caliber guard for $10 million. Then why not? Again, because going a draft with upside is completely different than keeping a starting cat. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, come on, think about what you're saying, Reggie. Think about what you're saying. You just made a comparison of bringing in a rookie at best player available to Trey Jones. That's come on. Let's if we're gonna use comparisons, let's make them smart ones. Let's make them smart ones. Vooch and Pat need to be moved for any assets. Carter needs to be included with one of them. This is the way forward. Yeah, but it's not that simple. You can't just say he needs to be included and wave your hand in the Jedi mind trick and make it so, right? It still matters on what the other team needs to get back. Hayes, if the Bulls let THT go, would open up a roster spot. Wonder would Trey Jones allow himself to be on it? Trey, listen, Trey, there's zero chance Trey Jones signs a two-way deal. Trey Jones has played way too good. Way too good. There's going to be a team, if it's not the Bulls, that are going to offer Trey Jones a deal. There's zero chance Trey Jones signs a two-way contract. Zero chance. You think Herter will be back next year with the style of play, with him being able to shoot threes? Well, he has a guaranteed contract for next year. So unless they move him in another deal, he'll be back for sure. He'll be back. P will miss 2 free throws and an open 3. Yeah, P Will sucks. I mean, let's just be clear. A lot of teams need true point guards. No, a lot of teams want true point guards, and you can't even say a lot, right? There are a couple of teams that can use true point guards. The point is that let's look around the league. How many true point guards are there that's really playing heavy minutes? There's not a lot of them anymore, right? So come on, so in your rush to make a point, let's also look at the totality of things. We should trade Trey Jones, P. Will, and Vooch for Naz Reid. First of all, if you think that they're getting Naz Reid for that, you're smoking dick. Just a whole bunch of just caca in your mouth. If you think that the first of all, Naz Reid, who's going to go be an unrestricted free agent, Trey Jones, who's also an unrestricted free agent that you can't trade, and P. Will and Vooch, like, come on, bro. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? Good win for the Bulls. I feel happy for Giddey and Coby. Well, I mean, yeah, I feel happy for the way that they played, for sure. For sure. This Bulls team is no longer chucking as many threes and is focusing more on scoring inside. Attack in the paint, right? Again, the basics of basketball for a reason. Would you package Javon with the second round pick in this draft just to get rid of him? No, because I think that you can get in this draft, right, especially where the Bulls are slated to go, which is kind of more towards the top of the second round of this draft. You can get a prospect that, I'm not saying they'll guarantee to turn into something, but I'll tell you what, you're more likely to find an Ayo Dosunmu type prospect in the second round of this draft than like last year's draft. So, no, I wouldn't package a second round if it's in the 2025 or 2026 draft just to get rid of Javon Carter. I wouldn't do that. Yo, Hazy, oh boy, I've been calling the games and wins with the young guys, now looking like a unit. Yeah, they definitely look like a unit for sure. Bulls probably can dump P. Will's contract for a pick swap, but buy a second round pick and use that to dump. I need you to go online. I need you to go to eBay. I need you to order some Cambodian breast milk, and they do sell it on eBay, by the way. And I'm sure that can help you think a little bit better, Lee. I'm sure that can help you a little bit, bro. I think that can help you a little bit. Amen. Oh, listen, I do think that. Listen, if Trey Jones hits the unrestricted free agent market, he's definitely somebody that the Minnesota Timberwolves is going to take a look at. I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota Timberwolves come calling on Lonzo Ball, to be 100% honest with you. He might be on to something, Hayes. How come the Lakers can make 2K trades and we can't? Because the Lakers ran into an idiot like Nico Harrison. Like, that plays a big part in that as well. How many peeps on Fit today? Today's wild. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Percocet and fentanyl and fucked y'all up, bro. Yeah, the short bus people have officially arrived. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. What do you mean change your choice of words? He could potentially become seriously in. Did you not watch the game? What do you mean? Yes, yes. Giddy has a near serious injury. Giddy's probably going to miss a week or two. Pat owes Laurie for sure. Our fear of giving up too soon got him that 90 million. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. So besides Trey Jones, who else are you releasing to open? That him and THT and Trey Jones. That's it. You don't have to release. So you have three players that aren't under guaranteed contracts next year. Josh Giddey, who's coming back, Trey Jones, and THT. That's it. Now, your second round pick, you technically could sign to a two-way contract. So if you draft your second round pick, you could get them to sign a two-way contract. So then let's say you can bring back one of THT or Trey Jones theoretically, right? But that's about it. What do you have against Cambodian breast? Who said I have anything against? I said that it can help them think better. I'm trying to help their brain development. For everyone, Dick White and Giddy now, man, been a stud since OKC. I can see him all-star next season. I mean, listen, Giddy, if Giddy did a whole season of what he's been doing for the last 15, probably even more games of this, probably, but the Bulls, like, you still can't be a team that like is losing at that level, right? But we'll see. Scouts aren't really the problem. We have to develop. We had good players and let them go. No, scouting's still a problem. And deciding on that, like, yeah, what good players did we have and let them go? Like, what? Let's see. Like Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah, but that wasn't a scouting issue. That was more of we got younger players in here. That was kind of the beginning of the starting young. Now, if you're talking about young players, Laurie's still Laurie. Laurie is nothing but 7-foot Zach LaVine. Laurie has put up some really good numbers, but ain't won shit. And Laurie wanted to go. More than anything, Laurie wanted to go. The Jim Boylan era ruined Laurie. He's out of there. Daniel Gafford is okay. Like, make no mistake about it. But you look back at that, like, losing out and letting Daniel Gafford walk, like, yeah, that version of the team that we built after that could have definitely used Daniel Gafford. But Daniel Gafford isn't the type of player you look back on and you're like, oh, my God, how could we possibly let Daniel Gafford go? It's not that. Wendell Carter is probably about to be off that team sooner rather than later, right? So, yeah, we've had good players. Make no mistake about it, but that's no different. Like, every NBA team has had good players that they've had to move on for different reasons. Usually the Bulls shoot 45 threes in this game, but realize that taking high percentage shots is smart. And they've slowly been doing that more and more. Will Dalen Terry make it to the NBA? He's been so up and down. I mean, he's already made it to the NBA. So, I mean, technically the answer to that question is yes. He's already made it to the NBA. Will he stay in the NBA? That remains to be seen, my boy. Pacers thought the game was a W because that's the only reason they rested Halliburton. They still battling a playoff position, so there's no throwaway games. No, here's the thing, Carl. No, because a lot of teams at this point in the season, right? And I'm not sure how long you've been following the NBA, but at some point in this is around the point of the season where teams do start sitting players. Like, the Pacers really aren't at risk of falling. Like, you got to keep in mind, they are 5 games above the 7th seed. They're not really at risk of falling out of the play-in. At this point, them being the 5th or 6th seed really doesn't change too much for them, right? It changes a little bit. I'm not going to act like it doesn't change anything, but the Pacers also could have confidence if they do fall in the 6th seed against the Knicks, right? So, I don't think that they necessarily looked at this Bulls game as just this is a gimme, but this is around the time of year you start sitting some people. What superstar do you think we can get either via trade or free agent signing? None. There's not a single superstar that we can get in either. It's not going to happen. Hayes, if Giddy is scoring 20 plus consistently, getting double and triple doubles on a consistent basis with his massive improvement, this guy is a star the Bulls can build around. We can see, like, that's a lot of ifs, right? Like, that's a lot of ifs. And here's the thing, building around a non-two-way player is difficult. That just is what it is. Now, Giddy has improved on defense, and you can never take that away from him. But he's still not a two-way player. So, like, you either have to be really, really elite offensively or really elite as a two-way player to be built around. Now, I've said it before. You can definitely build the offense around Josh Giddey's skill set. That's not a question at all. But as far as the team as a whole being built around that, that's a little bit difficult. That's a little bit more difficult. I'm still pissed AK drafted Dalen Terry when Walker Kessler was right there. Right there. We wouldn't have to worry about getting young big if AK got Kessler. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a fact. But then again, you got to look back on it like that, like this too. If the Bulls would have got Kessler, right, which brought everything that the Bulls needed at that point in time. They needed shot blocking. They needed some extra rebounding. They needed somebody to help in pick and roll defense, which Kessler's actually pretty solid at pick and roll defense. So not a great on-ball defender. But then we don't sign Drummond if that's the case. We probably would have allocated that. Like, who's to say then maybe we don't have Josh Giddey? Maybe we don't. Like, it is what it is, right? Okay, but am I talking about Western Conference? See, I get it that you're ball-headed, right? And in rocking a ball head, you've already made a decision, right? You made a decision that hair follicles weren't important for you. You made a decision that scalp care did not really matter to you at any point. But listen to what I'm saying here. Just because you're on winning streaks also does not mean, and I was talking about an Eastern Conference team, but let's talk about that, right? The Houston Rockets have set Azur Thompson, right? They've set players. The Memphis Grizzlies, who sit at the 4 seed, have set players over this. Nobody's saying that they're not necessarily trying to win, right? But come on, man. What are we doing here? Context be fucking y'all up. I hope the injury doesn't affect Giddey too much so he can pick up where he left off when he comes back. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We need a power forward center like Gafford, more rim protection and a bigger body. Gafford is not really a rim protector. He's not really that. But we'll see. We need a center better than Daniel Gafford. There's a reason why the Dallas Mavericks, before making the Luka trade, which nobody expected, were looking to shop him, right? He's guarding 1 through 5, through 5 at a high level. He's not guarding 1 through 5 at a high level. He's not doing that. And if defense isn't his weakness, and he averages 123 defensive rating, which the higher number is worse, then it's definitely not a strength. He's getting better defensively, right? And see, this is the thing where people try to talk in absolutes and you lose the gray area. Two things can be true at the same time. He's improved defensively. You cannot take that away from him. But to say that defense still isn't his weakness is stupid. That's just stupid, and it's not accurate. It's not accurate. He can develop into an elite team defender. Elite? Come on, my boy. You're not that lost in the sauce, my boy. You're not that lost in the sauce, my boy. Come on, man. Come on. Why Bulls fans got their panties in a bunch? A high draft pick ain't going to make Billy and AK good at their job. Yeah, but a run isn't going to do that either. You still want talent, right? Hey, man, I'm bald. That's hurtful. I mean, my bad. My bad. Walk in, roast someone into oblivion, walk out, back to the content. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do and just move on. That's all. That's all. Why Bulls fans got their panties in a bunch? A high draft pick ain't go. Oh, I already read that one. I already read that one. The only star I see the Bulls might be able to get is Bradley Beal, but that means moving. Like, no, what a star? Bradley Beal ain't a star no more. I'm sorry. That star has fizzled out. It is what it is. He fizzled out. That's over with. It done with. That star's falling, my boy. Falling. But all right, y'all, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, man. Gotta get ready to do Locked on Bulls. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.